Howdy guys, how's it going? It's Nick from Bling Productions here, and today we're going to talk about how to turn your lighting from this, which is a little bit dull and not really exciting, to this. So as you can see, the changes that we've made is we've added a light here, right here that you can't see, it's off camera. We've added LED lights across the back, and of course we've gone into Premiere and done a bit of color correcting. So we're going to get into a tutorial how to get it set up and how to do what I did here. Now this video is actually meant to be a collaboration with the Brandon Vu, his channel is right here, except when we were filming the whole thing, my microphone wasn't on for the entire video. So I redid what I did with the Brandon Vu in this setup here. And then I'll b-roll some footage across this video of that video that we did. So to explain a bit how you get from footage like how it was before to this, or in Brandon's case, how it went from the yellowish to the nice and bright shot. For him, the first thing that I did was change the settings on the camera. The first thing that I realized when I looked at the footage is that it's really yellow. And so I went ahead and I changed the white balance first because it affects the video as well. I then went down to the local hardware store, in my case it was Bunnings, and I bought some LED strips. As I was buying some for him, I actually bought some for me as well because I found these and I thought they were pretty cool. The other part of the setup that we used is a light. So I've actually got a video light here, but for Brandon, what we used was floodlights. And then we used a big white sheet of paper to diffuse the light and to reflect it back. Essentially for both setups, you want light coming from here. And this is going to mimic the 3-point lighting where you have one here feeling the light and one behind as your key light. The next step was the LEDs. So the LEDs add a bit of character to your video, adds a bit of something in the background. So if you've got a shallow depth of field as well, you're going to get the bokeh effect out of the LEDs, which is just an added bonus. In Brandon's video, what we did is we used the lights to highlight his products in the background. And that's essentially it, how we got from that really bland looking video to making it look a lot more professional. The rest of what we did happened in Premiere Pro. So for this video, we're going to edit this clip instead of Brandon's one in Premiere Pro, and I'll show you guys how to color correct this. So let's jump into the computer and I'll show you guys how to color correct this. Okay guys, how's it going? We're in the computer and we're going to edit those clips that we just filmed. So what we're gonna do is just drag them straight into a composition, just in Premiere Pro, and as you can see, the shot itself actually looks alright. That's because we have everything set up. We've got the lights in the background, we've got the key light, and I think something that makes shots really good is making sure that the background, everything in the shot is clean. So you can see here, we've got the cameras all set up nice and clean. So now to the actual color correcting. What are we gonna do? So the first thing is we're just going to add some contrast. So the first thing I like to do is just go into curves up here, click that, and then add an S-curve. So an S-curve is, for those of you who don't know, is a way of adding contrast. But by doing it like this, you have a lot more control over how much highlights or dark you put in. So as you can see, that's probably enough. For this video, I've actually not shot in any log format. I know it's definitely recommended for paid projects, but for the things I do every day, it's actually a lot easier for me to just shoot in just a color profile that comes on the Sony camera. It makes the editing process a lot easier in the end. So as you can see, a slight S-curve to add a little bit of contrast. Then the next thing you want to do, or that I want to do, is add Teal and Orange. So Teal and Orange is essentially the industry standard for good color correcting. It's what works and makes your shots look really cinematic, or good at least. So we're just gonna jump into HSL secondary. And what this is a tab where you can adjust the color of certain color ranges in your shot. So if this doesn't make sense, it'll make sense in just a sec. So what we're gonna do is just click on this one here, go ahead and select the skin color. When you can drag it around, you can see this is the range of my skin. So click one of them and then hit this button here. This will mask it out, just like in After Effects, except this is automatic by color. Then you just want to expand these ones just to get a bit more range and just try to get all your skin in it. And just like that, I've selected all my skin. So teal and orange means that your backgrounds are going to be teal and your skin tones are going to be more orangey. As you can see, this isn't a log format, so it's already right as it is. But what I want to do is just go ahead and add some denoise and blur. That way, it's not going to be so obvious where the change of the color happens. Then you want to go down to the correction and just bump it up very slightly to orange. So as you can see, where I move this around, it's going to change my skin color. And I just want to move it slightly towards orange. Now the next step that you want to do is just close that. And then you want to go down to effects right here. Click that and then type in, it's already here, Lumetri color. Then what you want to do is open effects control, which is right here, and then drag this Lumetri color effect onto your FX control. So this is essentially adding it onto this clip. Then the next step is essentially what you want to do is the same as before. You want to just select your skin. So go to HSL secondary. It's going to be a little bit different. Just select your skin, show mask, and then just increase it. So for this secondary Lumetri color, we want to tint the background. So hit invert mask, and that's going to change it from everything but your skin. So go down, scroll down till correction, and just tint everything very slightly blue. That's a little too much. Just like that. This is a very subtle color correction. So if we just take this show mask off, we can see that just like that, the image looks a lot better. And then what I actually think I might do is just get rid of, or just bring down that orange a little bit. It's a little bit too much. So if you're shooting in a log format, you're going to be doing this a lot more. Like bring it maybe up to here. It's just that I shot in a color profile that's already quite saturated. The next thing is sometimes you want to bring the attention to the face. So what you want to do is close all this, and then add another Lumetri color. So this time you want to hit this circle button here, and this is like in After Effects if you're familiar. This is a mask. So we're going to hit that and it creates a circle and just bring it around your face. So this is going to, what we're going to do is just brighten up the face. We're going to add a bit of a feather so then it's more subtle, and then just brighten it up very slightly. So we're going to bring up the whites and drop down the highlights, and that makes the colors pop. Now as you can see, when you move this forward, my face moves separate to it because obviously it's just a mask, it's not going to move. But if you want to track it, what you want to do is go to the start and reposition it where it's actually, and then hit this play button here, and this is going to track it. Okay, so we've actually cut the tracking a little bit short just because it was taking quite a while, but you can see here that it's actually tracking my face, which means it's going to be a lot more, it's going to be a lot brighter than the rest of the scene, but you don't want to make this super obvious. It needs to be quite subtle. But that's essentially how I color corrected, how I set up the lights for Brandon and me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.